Hello, this is Dr. Fitzgerald. In this video, we want to discuss adding and subtracting polynomials. So the first example we'll use is we want to add 5x cubed minus 7x squared minus 3. And I want to take that quantity and add it to x cubed plus 2x squared minus x plus 8. Here, now, since we're adding two polynomials, we can simply drop the parentheses. So the next step, that's what I'll do. I'll just rewrite the problem without the parentheses. 5x cubed minus 7x squared minus 3 plus x cubed plus 2x minus 2x squared, minus x plus 8. Now we want to look and find like terms. So like terms, we want our variables to be raised to the same power, and those are considered like terms. So variables raised to the same power. So let's see. Our first set of like terms that I see a 5x cubed and an x squared. 5x cubed and an 1x cubed. When I add that, I end up with a 6x cubed. Next, I see a minus 7x squared and a positive 2x squared. When adding those, we have a minus 5x squared. Next, we have a negative 1x, and that's alone. So we're just going to bring it down. So minus x. And lastly, we see that we have a negative 3 and a positive 8. When added together, we have a plus 5. So our final answer is 6x cubed minus 5x squared minus x plus 5. So that is our final answer. So let's look at one other example. Here we want to take the quantities 7x to the fourth minus x squared minus 4x plus 2. And I want to subtract 3x to the fourth minus 4x squared plus 3x. So here, notice this is a little different. We're subtracting. We have one polynomial, we want to subtract another polynomial. When subtracting, we have to do one thing different before we remove our parentheses. We must think of this as a negative 1 and actually distribute our negative through. So what's going to happen here? Nothing in the front polynomial will change. So we'll just rewrite that. Let's rewrite that as 7x to the fourth minus x squared minus 4x plus 2. However, when distributing our negative sign through, our signs will change because a negative times a positive becomes a negative. So we have a negative 3x to the fourth, and this negative times a negative becomes a positive. So we have a positive 4x squared, and a negative times a positive is negative. So we end up with a minus 3x. So now, once we've distributed our negative sign, we can now drop the parentheses, in which we've done. Now it's just a matter of adding our like terms. So let's find our like terms again. I have a 7x to the fourth and a minus 3x to the fourth. When added together, we have a 4x to the fourth. And our next set of like terms, we see we have a negative 1x squared and a positive 4x squared. When added together, that becomes a positive 3x squared. And then we go to our x term, and here I see that I have a negative 4x, and here I have a negative 3x. When added together, that gives us a negative 7x. And lastly, I see our constant term plus 2. And it's the only constant term. So we just bring that down, plus 2. And so our final answer here is 4x to the fourth plus 3x squared minus 7x plus 2. So that's adding and subtracting polynomials.